Okay, so let's start all the way back at NYU or even before, like when you went to NYU, were you thinking, I mean, you went to Stern, so you basically knew I'm going finance. And like, so were you like in high school thinking IB, or like when did you know you wanted to go that path?
So surprisingly, I went into Stern with a pretty open mind. I'd heard of IB a couple of times through high school, but I didn't really pay it much attention. Coming to Stern, it definitely is sort of thrust upon you that, IB and finance is, the career path is the job to go for. But I sort of went in with a more open mind. I sort of looked at marketing for a little bit, went to some actuarial science clubs, and then took a good look at accounting as well. But I guess just the resources that Stern offers and the community was sort of very centered around finance. And so I slowly sort of gravitated towards that as the years went on.
And did you feel like you needed to know early? I mean, because you only graduated like 4 years ago. Did you, at that point, was like the accelerated recruiting happening? Was it, I know Stern is huge feeder, right? So is it like super cutthroat competitive? Tell me a little bit about like, because everyone's always like, oh, target schools have it easy. I mean, you're in New York, you have a huge advantage, but tell me about just what it's like actually in terms of the competition. Obviously the competition is much better too.
Right. I'll phrase it this way. I think if you go to NYU Stern and you have just some sort of strong interest in investment banking or finance in general, you will find a job and you will find a good one. And so with that in mind, this is sort of just hindsight 2020 speaking here, but I think back then it felt super cutthroat competitive. I think when junior year rolled around, like we still had the luxury, class of 2017, we still had the luxury of more or less regular recruiting. It was kind of junior year. I think
early, right?
Junior fall, I think you kind of start thinking about it, and then through the winter and then junior spring for that junior summer, that's when
that's pretty late
interviews. Yeah. So it wasn't actually too accelerated when we recruited. There were definitely some events sophomore summer, I remember, here and there, but nothing like it is today, which is literally sophomore fall. You're looking at not the following summer, but the next summer. When we did it, it felt not as accelerated, but it still felt competitive. But now looking back, I think everybody who wanted to be in the industry sort of ended up finding their way there just because by virtue of being in New York City and going to NYU Stern.